The Rabbit in the Moon. A long, long time ago in India, there was a beautiful forest. And in this forest, any seed could grow and grow and grow. And the trees were full of berries and mangoes and bananas. And all the animals that lived in this forest lived in peace and harmony for hundreds and hundreds of years. And in this forest, there were 4 very, very good friends. There was the fox. There was the otter. And the monkey. And the rabbit. And they were all very good friends, but each one of the animals loved the rabbit most of all because the rabbit not only saw all living beings with her eyes, but she saw the goodness in every living being with her heart. And oftentimes in the afternoons, she could be found on the hillside in the shade with all the animals surrounding her telling stories. And the stories she told were about plants, that if an animal was sick or wasn't feeling good, that the plant would help them feel better. She would tell stories too about how love and kindness could heal and make the saddest heart better. And she also told stories about the sun and the moon and the stars. She would say, our eyes are like the sun and the moon. The blood that runs through our body is like the rivers and the streams. She said, and our bellies are like the valleys. Our shoulders, our elbows, our knees, and our ankles and our feet are like the mountains and hills. Our fur is like the grasslands, and our breath is like the wind. We are many universes in the universe. And when she told stories, the light from her heart shone like the silvery light from the moon. And from being friends with the rabbit, her friends had changed. The monkey, who used to like to make fun of the other animals and put them down, and tease them, the monkey started to see that his words, when he was mean, made the other animals sad, and he started to speak more kindly. Now the otter was a very good fisherman, but the otter was very greedy and would catch a lot of fish but wouldn't share. And he discovered that when he shared the fish that he caught so easily, the other animals who weren't as good at fishing as he was were so grateful and they appreciated his talent so much. And the fox, who was very good at keeping secrets and knew where all the best watering holes were but wouldn't tell anyone, discovered that there was so much water, enough for everyone. And if he shared the water that he knew was in a watering hole by an animal who had little babies, the family was so appreciative to him for his kindness in sharing his knowledge. And the rabbit, well, she became even more kind than before. One evening after the 4 animals had finished their evening meal, the rabbit said, "We have so much. I've heard that human beings, the night after a full moon, the very next day, they gather all their food that they would eat during the day, but they don't eat it. And they save it in case there's a living being that comes by in the evening that's hungry. Would you like to do that tomorrow?" And all 4 friends said, yes. And they went to bed that night thinking and making plans. The monkey thought, I'll gather mangoes and bananas. I'll be all ready tomorrow. And the otter thought, I will get 3 big fish, and I will be ready to prepare them for anyone who might be hungry. And the fox said, I will get my biggest bowl and fill it full of the most delicious water. And the rabbit thought, I will get grass, I will get carrots, I will get... And then she had a sad thought. She thought, grass is my favorite food. I like to eat roots from the ground. What if whoever comes tomorrow doesn't eat grass or doesn't eat vegetables? I will have nothing to offer. She started to feel sad, and whenever the rabbit felt sad, she started to say her prayers. And when she finished praying, she opened her eyes, and right beside her was the most beautiful deer. And the great stag looked her in her eyes. And when he did, she thought of all the hunters that came into their forest and how they always said a prayer before they went hunting that whatever deer was willing to give their life so that their family might have food to eat, they would celebrate and use every part of its body. They made a promise in their prayer they would use the skin of the deer for their shoes and their clothes. They would use their antlers and their teeth and their hooves and even celebrate the favorite seeds of the deer and make musical instruments that would celebrate the life of the deer long after that deer was gone to thank it for its gift. The rabbit thought, many, many living beings eat rabbit. I will offer myself before I am asked to any creature that is hungry. I will give my life. That night she fell asleep in the tall grass, peacefully dreaming. Well, just at that moment, the great god Indra, who made all the living beings on earth and was traveling invisible in the sky on his great white elephant in his golden robes, he could hear into the dreams of every living being on earth. He heard the dreams of the animals and he thought, is such kindness on the earth possible? I will see for myself tomorrow night. Well, the next day, the animals got ready. The monkey got all bananas and mangoes, and the otter got 3 big fish and all the preparations for fixing them. The fox filled his biggest bowl with the sweetest water, and the rabbit prepared everything she needed to build a fire. And just as the sun was going down, the animals heard, "Oh, I am so hungry. I'm so thirsty." They ran to where the voice was coming from, and they saw an old man crawling on his elbows. He couldn't even walk, and he was crying. He had wounds and sores on his body, and he was in such pain. And the monkey said, "Oh, I have bananas for you and mangoes. I'll break the bananas into little pieces, so I'll put them in your mouth, and you won't even need to chew." And the otter said, "I have 3 big fish. I will fix them for you and put them into little bites so they'll be easy for you to eat." And the fox said, "Here is some water that you may nourish your body with this sweet, sweet liquid." And the rabbit quickly built a fire. And when the fire was blazing, she said to the old man, "I give you my body. Please eat the meat from my bones so that you might live one more day." And with that, she jumped into the fire. But all of a sudden, there was a huge flash of light. And before the rabbit's eyelashes could be singed, before the delicate little pink hair in her ears could be blackened, before her whiskers could be burned, the great god Indra transformed himself from the old man into his glorious being with his huge golden robes. And in his arms, he held the rabbit unharmed. "Oh, you are all so generous. Please don't be afraid. And you, rabbit, you are the most generous of all. I never knew such kindness could exist on the earth. And because you are so kind, little rabbit, I'm going to put you on the moon. So when the moon is full, everyone on the earth will be able to see you and know of your kindness and be inspired." And with these words, he put the rabbit on the moon, where she still lives to this you also can look with your heart.